Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Help for the Guildless. My name, of course, is Antoine, and I'm back after a week's-long sabbatical to try and feel better. And I do. I took the week off to try and get my health in order and sleep as much as I could, because apparently this bug that I had ripped its way through us here at Help for the Guildless. Cole got sick, Gwen got sick, Cole's daughter got it, and I got it. It was horrible. But I'm back. I am 100% better than I was last week at this time, because last week at this time I did not have a voice. And since I know you beautiful people love hearing me talk, I couldn't particularly have a podcast. But I'm back, and let's see what's on the docket for today. Now, saying docket, it's actually quite punny, because I'm going to be talking about a legal issue that happened in Los Angeles about a week or so ago. Now, I'm going to read an article, and I'm going to be commenting on it, and things of that nature. And I think it's one of particular interest. Supporters demand release of man detained by ICE. And ICE agents, of course, are the law enforcement agents that are in charge of immigration and things like that. This was dated the 8th of March. Yesterday, family, friends, and supporters of a man detained by ICE agents demanded his release on bail during a rally in Pershing Square. Romulo Aveleca Gonzalez, I butchered that name, but I don't care, aged 48, has been in the US illegally for more than 25 years. He's a citizen of Mexico, if you couldn't tell by his last name. Last week, he had dropped his 12-year-old daughter off at school and was about to drop his 13-year-old daughter, Fatima, off at school as well, near Highland Park, when he was pulled over and detained by ICE agents. Some of the encounter was caught by Fatima, whatever, on her cell phone. She was sitting in the car with her mother. Now, it doesn't say if the mother is actually illegal or not, but we'll carry on. The family says ICE officials told them that he was being taken to a detention center and would be deported that night. But as of yesterday, he was still being held at the Adelanto ICE facility. The family's attorney, Peter Greyshock, told KTLA that the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has granted a stay of his deportation. The government is attempting to get the stay dismissed. Greyshock says that Aveleca Gonzalez is the sole provider for his family. His 4 daughters, aged 12, 13, and 19, and 24, were all born in the US. At yesterday's rally, supporters chanted, "Shut down ICE! Shut down ICE!" Jocelyn, one of Aveleca's daughters, told NBC4 during the rally, "As a community, we can do big things. We're not leaving. We're bigger than Trump. We're bigger than ICE, all of us together." And I want to stop right there. I'm not a supporter of Trump. I've said this before, but I have found myself defending this man more often than not. And it's statements like that bugger the hell out of me. They just jumped on the Trump hate train. Now, there's going to be a little bit coming up where his deportation order was actually induced and what year it was. I want you to recognize and realize what year they're talking about. According to a statement from ICE spokeswoman Virginia Keiss, Gonzalez was arrested due to multiple prior criminal convictions, including a DUI in 2009, other vehicle code violations, and an outstanding removal order. The ICE statement said members of a Los Angeles-based fugitive operations team conducted surveillance to confirm Aveleca's identity before arresting him near a charter school. Did you hear that date? 2009. Now, it doesn't say in this article, but one of the news reports I was following did state that his deportation order came about in 2014. What was the name of the president in 2014, let alone 2009? He had a really weird name that no one had heard of before. It was close to a Mortal Kombat character, and his middle name was synonymous with someone from Iraq. Oh, that's right. It was Barack Hussein Obama, not Donald Trump. It had nothing to do with Trump. That this man spent plus 25 years in America illegally. He decided to come visit and then just stay. And they want to shut down ICE because he was arrested and threatened to be deported like he's supposed to be because he's an illegal alien. I'm sorry, he's the sole provider? I highly doubt that. They have 4 children. I can guarantee that they are getting assistance from the state. Which means I happen to be paying for them, and I really don't want to. The LA Times spoke to Emmy McLean, an attorney for the National Day Laborer Organization Network. That's a thing. This is the country that they want to come to, where they have rights even though they don't believe they aren't citizens. And that's going to fall into a thought experiment I'm going to have at the end of this that I want you to pay particular attention to. So let's hear what Miss McLean had to say. Valeria Gonzalez was convicted of misdemeanor DUI and misdemeanor driving without a license in 2008. Convicted means he's a criminal. Another misdemeanor conviction in 1998 was for receipt of stolen property. Now pay attention to this. When he bought a non-DMV issued vehicle registration tag. You see, he knew he was driving illegally, he knew he was breaking the law, and he wanted to continue breaking the law as long as he could. He bought a false registration tag. That's a federal offense. In 2013, Valeria Gonzalez filed paperwork with a notario. The notario ran off with Valeria Gonzalez's paperwork and money, McLean said, and he ended up with an order of deportation. Oh no, I'm going to play the smallest violin in the world for the saddest song of the illegal alien that waited over 20 years to try and fix things. The only reason he tried to fix things is because they threatened with deportation back in 2014. Now, if he has been in this country for over 25 years, that means he got here around 1992, which means he spent 22 years here illegally without trying to do a damn thing. Now, of course, because he was arrested outside of a school, the LA Unified School District had to throw their weight around and had something to say about this. The union that represents teachers in the LA Unified School District has spoken about Gonzalez's arrest, and they are not happy. Oh my, you want to know why they want to take the focus off of them? Because for the last 5 years, they have been sued constantly over pedophilic charges of their teachers. So anything to get their spotlight moved elsewhere. In a statement issued on Friday, they said, seizing parents on their way to or from dropping off their children at school will lead to students staying home, disrupting their education and negatively impacting our learning communities. Documented or not, all children have the right to a public education free from fear and intimidation. Free from fear and intimidation? Maybe you should stop having your teachers diddling kids. You want to look up something really fucked up? I'm not even going to have you look it up. There's a link down below for Mark Berndt, LA Unified School District teacher who decided to blindfold students and feed them cookies laced with his semen. So yes, they have the right to a public education free from fear and intimidation. Maybe you should stop having kids being worried about their teachers. They continue, it's wrong to target a student's family, whether in school, on the way to school, or coming home from school. An ICE official fired back to the LA Times on the condition of anonymity that agents try to arrest people at locations that would involve the fewest bystanders. Agents had Gonzalez under surveillance, followed him to the school, then determined where to safely stop the vehicle. Agents didn't realize his other daughter was still in the car. Because the arrest was not carried out on school grounds, it does not represent a shift in policy. Basically, the ICE official told the LA Unified School District to shove it. So, from the news report I had listened to, one of Gonzalez's daughters got on the microphone and said, "We will not let Donald Trump separate our American family." After reading all that, after listening to all of it, I'm going to give you 20 seconds to figure out why that statement is 100% false, and on top of that is nothing more than an appeal to emotion. I'll give you that 10 seconds, starting now. Do you have the answer? I almost started humming the Jeopardy theme for you. For those of you who were paying attention, you understand why that statement was false. For the rest of you, here, let me explain. Little Miss Anchor Baby doesn't want Donald Trump separating their American family, except they are not an American family. Yes, the 4 daughters happen to be American citizens because they were fucking born here. Gonzalez and his wife traveled here over 25 years ago, decided to stay, got knocked up, and had their first American child that was going to keep them here in this country. That is illegal. So they are not an American family. They're a Mexican family with American children. Now what I'm about to say, I understand that I'm saying it. I understand what it means. And I'm going to clarify it so my words will not be misquoted. I believe that all illegal immigrants, illegal, the ones that do not have a work visa, the ones that do not have a green card, and the ones who are not actively trying to become American citizens, the ones that are here illegally, need to be sent back to where they came from. I understand what that sounds like. It makes me sound racist. Well, fuck you. I went through what I had to go through to become a citizen. I am part of this country, and I love it. So, the rest of them need to do the same thing. Now, remarkably, the American government is actually pretty forgiving when it comes to how long it takes for you to be able to come back. For just being here longer than you're supposed to be, you'll get detained from coming back from anywhere from 5 to 10 years. I'll leave links to all of these in the description. Now, the max is 20... Well, the max is being permanently banned from the country, but at most 20 years, which is a long time. The circumstances of your removal will determine how long you must wait to re-enter. The 5-year ban is if you were summarily removed or deported upon arrival at the U.S. port of entry because you were found inadmissible, or if you were removed or deported after having been placed in removal proceedings upon arrival in the U.S. You may be ineligible to return to the U.S. for 5 years. Not bad. 10-year ban. If an IJ issue was a removal order at the conclusion of your removal hearing in immigration court, even if you did not attend these proceedings, you may not be able to return for 10 years. 20-year ban. Although you can be permanently banned from entering the US if you are deported and attempt to re-enter the US prior to the expiration of a 10-year ban, it is possible that an IJ could add an additional 10 years to your original 10-year ban. As a result, the issuance of multiple removal orders can often result in a 20-year prohibition from entering the United States. Now, the permanent ban. If you were convicted of an aggravated felony, entered without permission after being removed, or illegally re-entered the U.S. after having previously been in the U.S. unlawfully for more than 1 year, you may be permanently banned from entering the country. Well, it sounds like Mr. Gonzalez is going to be banned permanently. Being here illegally for more than a year? He's been here for 25 plus. Now, let's talk about the legalization of why you may get a deportation order. There are a couple of reasons. Now, you may get one for as simple as not advising them of a change of address. You've got 10 days to use the online change of address form on the USCIS website. Commission of a crime. You know, driving illegally, driving drunk, buying a fake DMV tag, other things. A number of crimes, though not all, can result in immigrants becoming deportable from the United States. The full list is at Section 237A of the Immigration and Nationality Act on INA. For example, crimes that get a green card holder or non-immigrant deported include alien smuggling, document fraud, like accepting a false DMV vehicle tag, domestic violence. I'm wondering why there's so many Mexicans in Southern California, Mexico, Texas, and Arizona after that one. Crimes of moral turpitude, drug or controlled substance offenses, like a DUI, firearms tracking, money laundering, fraud, also falling under the category of accepting the fake DMV tag, espionage, sabotage, terrorism, and of course the classic scenarios, serious crimes such as rape, murder, and any other aggravated felonies. Oh, and on top of that, I love this one, receiving public assistance. Anyone who has received a green card knows that proving that you would not become a public charge, that is, having to rely on need-based government assistance, was an important part of proving that you were not inadmissible to the United States and get your green card. The immigration laws follow this up with the statement that any alien who, within 5 years after the date of entry, has become a public charge from causes not affirmatively shown to have arisen since entry is deportable. See Section 237A-5 of the INA. If you have a green card, your petitioner and any other financial sponsor are supposed to follow through with the promise to support you and can also be asked to reimburse any agencies from which the immigrant received public assistance. Now, that, unfortunately, does not fall under Mr. Gonzalez's deportation order. And the reason why, of course, is because, well, if he got any assistance, it was because his daughters are American citizens. So he's getting it for them, not him. This is ridiculous. If you work hard, if you decide to do the right thing, you can and will be legally available as a person in this country. And they make it very easy. Now, citizenship takes for a while, but the green card and work visas are easy to get. Now, I promised you a thought experiment, and that's exactly what I'm going to give you. In this scenario, I want you to listen to me. Before you jump down into the comments and start chewing my head off about my statement about all illegals going back to where they belong, I want you to think first. Stop what you're doing and listen to the thought experiment, and you will see my way of thinking. At least you will understand why I said what I said. In this scenario, everyone knows Cinco de Mayo is a huge Mexican holiday. Now, I'm using Hispanics as the primary example because of this article. He is Hispanic, if you couldn't tell by his last name, and he's going to be deported. That's the only reason I'm using Cinco de Mayo and the Hispanics in this example. Everyone knows it's a huge holiday. The United States makes Cinco de Mayo a national holiday. They crown it a legal national holiday. It's not just a drinking day. No, no longer. Banks take it off, schools get it off, teachers get it off, the government jobs get it off. They have national-wide parades, and everyone from Mexico comes out, and all of the Mexicans are waving their flags and talking about Mexican pride, and how they have pride in their culture, how America sucks because this happened, and everything else. Fuck Whitey if you want to throw it in there. We're oppressed because of this culture. We will no longer pick your fields. We will no longer clean your sheets. We are Mexican, hear us roar. A couple of those revelers get a little too rowdy, end up getting arrested. Come to find out they're here illegally. Well, as I just read about crimes being able to be deported for them, that's something to be deported for, right? Here's the thought part of that experiment. The people that are going to be deported back to Mexico. Do you think for 1 second that they want to go back? I don't care if they've been here 20 years, 2 days. They don't want to go back. They want to stay here. And that's where the problem lies. They want to stay here, but they don't want to have the responsibility of staying here. They want it free. They want to be able to commit their crimes. They want to be able to abuse the controlled substances. They want to be able to drive our streets, but not have the responsibility held accountable to them. Now, this man, Gonzalez, got a DUI. Don't think for a second he wasn't driving a 2-ton plus murder weapon. And if he would have ran into somebody, do you think he would have had insurance? No, of course not. He doesn't even have a fucking license. Because he wasn't planning on doing things the right way. Whether he just happened to forget, he didn't care, or he thought he would do it later. All of this is his fault, and he deserves to be sent back. And for this case, for the criminal misdemeanors that he had taken part of, the document fraud, moral turpitude, drug and controlled substance offenses, and fraud, he deserves a 10-year ban. And after 10 years, he can come back and try it again, and do it the right way. The illegals don't want to go back to their place of origin, because they know, just like we do, that their place of origin is shit. As a real quick aside, when Trump got voted into office, there was a handful of stars, handful of Hollywood elites that said that they were going to leave the country. They were going to take their ball and go play somewhere else. Not a single one of them, not one, said that they would go south. And I'm not just talking Mexico. I'm talking south anywhere. They weren't even going to go to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, Argentina, Chile. Nowhere. They were going to go east or north. Why? You're defending Mexico. Why? Why would you not want to go to the place that you're defending? Oh, that's right, because you know it's shit. And those are my thoughts. Those are my feelings on all of this. I'd love to know yours. And if you like what I do here, please hit like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook. You can also follow Cole on Twitch, Twitter, and Tumblr. My name, once again, is Antoine. This has been Help for the Guildless. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a wonderful evening. And before I go, just want to say, all of the relevant links to the article, the legalese of deportation, and how long to be deported, as well as the Miramonte school system article, are all down below. Feel free to peruse at your leisure.